Welcome to Introduction to Class of Business with me, Tiro Makuru, and Unambiguous Training Solutions. But what is the purpose of this particular training? Well, it is to provide a general understanding of the financial services industry and its related regulations, as well as provide core knowledge and understanding of characteristics, terms, and features of products for individual, that is non-commercial, clients in the short term, that is non-life insurance personal lines class of business, or C.O.B. So what does this mean? It means that our primary focus over this 6-part series will be to focus on short-term personal lines as a category of class of business. But who shouldn't bother watching this lesson? Well, FSPs, key individuals, and representatives who were authorized prior to the 1st of April in 2018, because these people or institutions are considered exempt from class of business training due to recognized experience, unless, of course, they introduce new product categories which people like me and those institutions must learn and be accredited in. Important is that there are exemptions that exist for new entrants into the financial services industry. These people will typically work under supervision, giving them time to complete their C.O.B. training and obviously take the relevant exams. But wait, you did hear when I said non-life, right? So yes, short-term insurance is considered non-life insurance or indemnity insurance. This means you are reimbursed for actual financial losses like property, the aim of which is to restore you to your original position before whatever happened. Let me give you an example. You have a nice little Toyota Corolla that is worth 150,000 Rand. There's a guy down the road who thinks he should get it for free, and therefore he hijacks you and disappears with your car. You are now out of pocket for 150,000 Rand. If you are insured, it is the job of the insurer to now pay you 150,000 Rand so you can get another Corolla or a car similar to it to put you in the same financial state that you were previously to somebody repossessing your vehicle without compensation. On the other side of that sits non-indemnity insurance. Right? This pays a fixed, predetermined sum upon a specific event like death or disability, regardless of actual financial loss, because loss in this case isn't easily quantifiable. So for example, I don't know what the value of your life is, but you can have insurance for 5 million Rand. I don't know what the value of your arm is. If you should lose it, I can't tell you how much it's worth to you, but you can have yourself insured for disability, let's say for 3 million Rand, etc. That is the fundamental difference between indemnity insurance and non-indemnity insurance. But what should you expect throughout this series on class of business? Well, there'll be 6 videos, and the first one is this exact one. In this video, we're only going to do an introduction so that you know exactly what to expect, the format which it will take, and also get familiar with who we are as Unambiguous Training Solutions. The second video will be financial services overview. Here we'll be taking a look at the South African financial services industry. We'll review the main role players and market participants in the financial services sector as a whole. And then we'll have an overview of the current regulations that govern this sector in South Africa. Then we'll take a closer look at short-term insurance, the concept of short-term insurance, including policy and fee structures, as well as risk principles. We'll also take a look at common insurance terms and conditions and what they mean, as well as subcategories of products that fall under the short-term insurance personal lines class of business. In your fourth video, we'll be looking at the need for short-term personal lines insurance. So we'll be looking at the need for it as a class of business and taking an advice-giving process that teaches how to identify clients' needs and risks, as well as how to analyze those needs and risks and then match those needs and risks to appropriate and suitable products or solutions. We'll also obviously take an overview of the underwriting process, which is the process through which your premiums are determined. We look at your risk, we look at the factors around you, what kind of asset needs to be protected, and then determine what you should be paying per month for that risk. Then we'll look at the economic and environmental factors impacting short-term insurance, as well as even things like climate change and what this means for short-term insurance. So this might seem like it's a bit far-fetched in terms of what the hell does climate change have to do with something like insurance, for example. But imagine that you live in a low-lying area and there's a flood. Who must pay? How must it be looked at? What is the risk associated with where you are? You might be on dolomitic soil, for example. Let's say you do still have your 150 Rand Toyota Corolla, but now there are more and more frequent hailstorms. Who must be paying for the repairs for that hail damage? Then we'll look at introduction to reinsurance, basically looking at what is it, how does it work, and why is it necessary for insurers. But what should you know at the end of the series? The outcomes should be that you have gained insight into short-term personal lines as a class of business. You should be able to identify interrelationships within and between particular classes of short-term insurance business. You must be able to demonstrate an understanding of financial services and the associated legislation or regulation, industry standards and codes of conduct applicable to the short-term insurance industry. You should also be able to identify the general needs of clients or groups of clients in respect to short-term insurance products. You must be able to describe the general characteristics, terms, and features of short-term insurance products. What are they? What do they look like? How do they function? How are they priced, etc.? Describe the typical fee structures, charges, and other costs associated with short-term insurance products. Be able to discuss the economic and environmental factors that affect short-term non-life insurance sector, and obviously be able to understand why reinsurance is key in the financial services industry. I look forward to helping you through the process of acquiring your class of business. Unambiguous training solutions will always be available to you, and this series will be completely free, so share it as much as you can, and hopefully it helps as many people as we hope it will. See you on the other side.